Hello, this is Peg with Craft Room Stories. Welcome to my channel. It is Tagtastic Tuesday. Yes, it is. And I've got another fun tag for you. Okay, and also if you would like to join, just make a tag and do a hashtag Tagtastic Tuesday. Tag me in that. And we can all share our genius tag ideas. I say genius. Mine aren't necessarily genius. I found them from somebody else. I'm pretty sure I saw this one that I'm about to do on, well, I'll tag her below because I can't think of her name right now. I've just gone incredibly blank. But anyway, I saw it there. And it's using magnets. Now I have got several different sizes of magnets in here. These bigger ones are for when I make magnets to go on a fridge. And then I've got some little teeny tiny ones. Oh, I can't even show you. They're so tiny like that. And then I've got some bigger ones that are thicker, and those tend to take up a lot more space. So I prefer to use those if I'm attaching some other magnet thing to them as opposed to using them together, because if you use them together, they take up that much room, you can see. So I got these thinner ones, and they're like half the size but the same distance around, but they're stronger, so they don't take up much room at all. So what we're going to do, I've already cut down a couple of pieces. What this is going to, it's an over the page tag, so, and it will stay on by magnetizing to itself through the page. So we're just going to start, and I don't have my glasses on. Oh yeah. Okay, I usually have an extra set over here, but the only ones I have over here right now, of course, are the ones that I use to look at the screen with, and they have kind of a blue light thingy on them, and I can't look at them for regular things. It hurts. Okay, so I cut these down from an 8.5 by 11 sheet, and of course it had a border on it, so they're slightly less. This is a regular 8.5 by 11, and I forgot to put this thing, whoops, back in here. If I don't do this, then everything just sticks to itself, and it makes it complicated. By the way, I was going to say you can get these on Amazon. I think I got most of them from Temu, but I did get a package from Amazon, and I think they were the bigger ones, but they do have the smaller ones. So anyway, I may have gotten 2 of them from Amazon. I am not sure. So we're just going to fold this right in half. Yep. The reason that I don't have them glued together yet is because probably have to cut them down, because even though I got this new paper trimmer, it doesn't have a ridge down the cutting line, so it just kind of can move around. I try to hold it as still as I can, and still and all, it just messes up. So someday I'll be able to get a nice paper trimmer that's not going to screw up. I'll probably have to go back to Fiskars. They're the only ones that, and that other one has lasted me a long time. I've had that paper trimmer for, I don't even know how long, until finally the wire part is what gave up, and then it started doing wiggly lines. Okay, so I am going to, I want to keep this line, so I'm going to try to, this is the inside part. Yeah, I think it's close, but okay. Y'all don't have to watch me fold, but because I'm really struggling with this apparently. Now let me just see. Well, it's pretty close. I didn't get to keep that darker line down there, but we'll just ink it and it'll be fine. Okay, now what we're going to do is we want this magnet to be glued to the very end of this, and then we're going to glue the paper in that will be like the journaling spot for it, and it'll also help hold that down. So I'm just, normally when I'm gluing a magnet, I use the E6000, but because it's going to be inside another paper, now I don't want to go all the way to the bottom because you have to have room all around the magnet so it will stay. Oh. Okay, stay. Now I'm going to have to put it back together for a minute to make sure that they match up. All right. Y'all, I'm going to wait just a minute because that's got to kind of dry a little bit on one side. But I don't want them to glue together. All right. It's going to work. Maybe I'll just hold a ruler and make sure that they're kind of even. Well, this ruler is not very long, is it? I have another one, longer one. Here we go. Now let's just okay. My head's probably in the way and all kinds of things going wrong. Let's see, it's about a half an inch from the bottom. This is also about a half an inch. I think they're in the right place. Let's go with it and hope. There's probably some way you could like measure ahead of time, and I didn't do it, and I'm not gonna. So I just don't want to take the time to measure. I'm just pitiful. Oh, while I'm doing this, let me tell you my good news. Okay, some of you may already know because you're either friends with me on Facebook or I just told you because I have your personal information. But my husband finally has a date for his surgery. I am so excited. We go next Tuesday, so we won't have a Tagtastic Tuesday next Tuesday, although sometimes, you know, I can't make it anyway. But he goes next Tuesday for his pre-op, and then we're just going to stay the night. And his surgery will be the next morning at 6 o'clock in the morning. He has to be at the hospital. I'm sure the surgery probably won't take place until, you know, an hour or two later. I don't know when they get started, but you know they always want you to the hospital early and get you ready for everything. Anyway, so because it's an hour and a half from where we live, that's why we're just going to spend the night, because the driving back and forth is hard on him. And our vehicle's not the greatest. I don't want a chance at breaking down and him missing his surgery for any reason. So, praise God for all of that. I'm just trying to put a little extra glue around this so that it won't get stuck. Now, I often love a thick tag and use thick paper for both things. But because this is being folded in half, and also you want it to magnetize to itself, and it's going to be magnetizing between another, you know, I'll show you over the page. It has to fit in there too. And magnetize to itself. I'm using a thin page. So I'm just trying to line this up, and then I'll spread the glue out and then trim around it where it's not totally even. Here's my little glue spreader. It's already coming out. I'm just gonna be bedaubled with glue from this one, but I often am. Anyway, I hope this works out. I've seen the video, but I did not do a trial one like I sometimes do. This is just like, oh, I'll just wing it. Sometimes that's a bad idea for me to just wing it. So I'm trying to make sure it's glued all around the magnet because we don't want that to move. All right, now let's squish this down real good. All right, it's not gluing together. Did I do it wrong? Oh no. Okay, let me see if I need to turn the magnet around because that's the only thing I see that I might have done wrong. But you know, just learn from me. Learn from me. Let's see. Nope, it's still not working. All right, this is not working. I wonder if we're going to have to use the stronger magnet. It's a little bit thicker. I really thought this would work. I wonder why it's not working. If anybody has an idea of why this is not working. Well, it's not. So, okay, we're just going to undo this little bit. This is why you should always try it before you show everybody on your channel. Well, this is how not to craft. Let me just show you how, but you know, this is how we learn. We make faux pas. And this is probably going to tear up my paper a little bit. Yep, because it's already grabbing. Oh, come on, come on, come on. I'm going to try to make it work anyway. We just may have to do a little extra glue because I don't want to cut another piece. Okay, so let's get that off of there. See, they do stick together, but apparently they're not strong enough to go. And I've used these before, so I'm not really sure why that wasn't working. I don't know if, I hope it's not the glue that's messing it up. But we're going to take 2 of these stronger ones that are a little bit thicker, and it'll just be a little bit of bulk, but that's okay. It'll be fine. And now I just have to make sure that I stick them properly. And this other little piece that was trying to come up, come on, you go down. You go down. All right, it's going to work. I just feel sure that it will work. Okay, it's got to go down that way. And this has got to go down that way. Please tell me I'm doing it correctly. All right, now before I totally glue it back together, let's see. Okay, it's still not sticking. Are they not touching? Maybe they're not in the same place. All right, now they're touching. All right, don't move. Isn't this a mess, y'all? I'm going to make it right with, you know, trims and everything. We'll just cover all that up. And hopefully you won't even be able to tell that I made a big, huge faux pas. That's the hope. That's the plan. We'll see. All right. I don't know if this is going to be just a complete and utter mess. And I'll just be like, okay, well, this is how you do it. But I'm going to remake this. I don't know. Oh, y'all. Thanks for staying with me through my nonsense. Because, you know, this is the nature of me. And making a big, huge mess. And why not? Sometimes, just, you know, sometimes crafting is just a big mess. And it's the finished product that counts, right? It's the finished product. Let's just... All right, let's see. There we go. All right, it's stuck. All right. Now I need to trim around this, and I'm going to try to smooth this out just a little bit more. Oh. But hopefully this will surely stick. And you will be able to tell where the magnet is, and you will not be tempted to write over it. Right? Okay. Let's just trim that down. All right, and then here. So just one more week and we will be in Tulsa. I'm very happy. Okay. Y'all, I'm just going to trim this up a little bit. Well, I had made this like 3.5 inches, which is kind of wide for a tag anyway. But we'll just cover up the rest of that with some trim. No one will know, right? Except for everybody who watched this video. Okay, let me throw all the trash away, get that out of the way. And whoops. Okay, and my phone is going off, so, but I don't have it near me, so hopefully whoever it is will not call. Okay, so we've got this. This paper is from Tina from Shabby Dabby Doodah, her Totally Dotty papers. I love them. And then I've got some hem pieces here. This one is Oh Say But I'm Glad. I don't remember how the verse part goes at all. I mean, I could do it if I wanted to sit down at the piano with it, but the chorus was always, it always made me happy to sing it because it's in the title, Oh Say But I'm Glad. But it goes, oh, say but I'm glad, I'm glad. Oh, say but I'm glad. Jesus has come and my cup's overrun. Oh, say but I'm glad. These are just little choruses and stuff that we learned, you know, growing up in church and everything. So, okay, I have cut down, if I can get a hold of it, okay, I have cut down the header piece kind of off of this ruffled eyelet because I did not want that extra bulk there. So I'm going to have it go all the way around and try to keep it gathered a little bit. Now, I did not iron this. I sometimes don't. And so occasionally you find little pieces that need ironing. Now I'm going to try to just put the Fabri-Tac. Now I've heard people talking lately that they are struggling to find Fabri-Tac at a decent price. And I know there's different shops in different places that people live. If you have a Walmart, they're like $10 there. But Amazon had, it was like, I want to say 3 or 4 bottles, and I can't remember what I got, for like $30. I said Walmart's was 10. No, they're like $11. But the Amazon one, anyway, it ended up being just over like $9 a bottle. So that's why it was worth it to me to go ahead and just get the 3 plus. Then, you know, you've got spares. You're not gonna, you know, you're not gonna run out. Now, I could cut this off at the top, but I'm not gonna. I'm gonna leave it together because I don't want it to run into each other, like when you open it, to right in the middle. So I'll show you what I mean when I get this cut off. Okay, so when you open this up to have journaling space inside, and I forgot to ink it, y'all. I will, but it won't show underneath that part. But anyway, the you don't want this to be in the way. So now when you open it, since it's glued together, it won't be in the way. So let me just ink real quick. And I could have rounded the corners. I sometimes just forget to round the corners. It just do. I don't mean to, but I forget. And I also think I'm going off screen, which is something I abhor. But I do it all the time. And so I'm so annoyed at myself when I'm editing the video and I see that I've gone off screen. Because I don't know about you guys, but when I'm looking, I'm trying to, like, if somebody's gone off screen, I'm like trying to, you know, move it with my finger or whatever to try and find and get to the spot that, you know, that they're off the camera with. And you can't, of course, because it's literally not on the camera. It's ridiculous. But anyway, I get a little anxiety doing that. So, all right. So I had also picked out this little this little piece to be the tab topper. And I didn't know if I wanted it all the way across, or you know what, I forgot to cut it in a tag shape. What is wrong with me? All right. Y'all were probably screaming at me, weren't you? Okay. Let me figure out what I'm going to do. I may end up cutting this because then it wouldn't be in the way anyway. Good night. Oh, my brain is just not with me. Not with me. And clearly not with you. So you are having to watch this and go, wow. Wow. Yep, that's me. So fun times again with Peg. Yeah. Goodness. I think I can just cut this down here. Going off camera again. I think I can just, because I think the camera pretty much sits right above my mat, and that's, if I stay on the mat, then I'm okay. Now I think that I can just come in here. Now, it's okay that that's there because we'll just stick a flower there. All right, let me just ink that. I forgot to ink the inside anyways. So, okay, we'll just, yeah, we'll make it work. I hope that doesn't look too off. Maybe when I get everything done, it won't look so off. All right, let me just, and also I got some glue bits in here. I always stick the pin to my glue in this little eraser because otherwise I for sure will lose it. And I'm so afraid, see, there we go. I'm afraid that my dog will find it. Gibson is always back here looking for a toy. And I'm like, look, there's no toys in the craft room. There's just no toys for you. And he's like, you don't know that. Because if you've dropped some flower trims on the floor, I will play with them. Because he's a crazy little mutt. But anyway, all right. I think I mostly got it. All right. There we go. Now we'll just ink that up real quick. Maybe that will disguise that bit down there. But I'll just move the lace aside here to get the inside. Do a little there maybe. Oh, thank y'all for bearing with me. Good night, I wonder. And you think maybe, oh, that doesn't happen when she's not on camera. Nope, that is exactly what happens when I'm not on camera, and I just irritate myself. Okay, there we go. And I love that little click that the magnet makes. It's not too bad. You see that there's some bulk, but I don't think it's too bad. Hopefully. Okay, so I think I probably will cut this down to fit there. And I'm doing it on this side. I'm only going to put it on one side because it looks the same from both sides. And then that way, when you flip it open, it will be fine. I want to cut it first, so that's why I'm trying to measure it to see. It goes right in the middle of this. Okay. And so then we'll just glue that right there. And have a fun little trim piece. She says, and she then cannot make it fit. Okay, gonna have to hold it sometimes. I always thin my Fabri-Tac out with acetone so that it stretches further, and also it doesn't get too thick because I can't stand to work with it if it's too thick. Okay, I think that'll work. And so sometimes right after I do that, it's a little thin. I left the little pieces on there because I just thought it was cute. So I think I'm gonna, also, I could not decide whether I wanted these to go down here or these. I like the idea of the vintage trims, but I liked the color of these. And maybe, you know, I was just trying to cover up this ragged edge here. Do we want it, if we did this, let's just look. Well, now it doesn't really fit because I cut those in tab. I can't believe I forgot to cut the tabs. Good night. Sometimes my dad would say, good day in the morning. Okay, so that can kind of turn that way. I think we will do that, even though it's not quite as colorful. And then I've got my little Holly Hobbies that I cut out of, that I printed on my sheet. And I don't know if that's enough, or maybe over a little bit. Does that look too odd for it to be cockeyed like that? I don't know. I'm going to do it because I like it. Anyway, I have them free on my Ko-fi site, which I will list in the description below, and you can go and get it. I noticed a couple people have already gone and done that, and I'm so glad. Enjoy. It's not perfect. That's why they're free. I'm not trying to sell them or anything, just trying to make it available for everybody to get to play with the Holly Hobbies, because I can't send everybody the sheet. It's only so big, you know, but this way you can print them. I printed them, as I said before, 4 to a page, so that they would be real nice and small and kind of fun that way. Anyway, I left that rough edge because I thought that looked kind of cool. And I had seen, I think Angela the Traveling Crafter, somebody, Carol from a Crinkle Pass, somebody did that, and I just thought it looked so cute. Okay, so we've got Holly Hobby carrying her little cat. I don't know, should we do this and like just split them up and then do like one at the bottom and have the more colorful? And then just like if we did this, let me see what that will look like. If we did this, and then did that, it looks a little weird, doesn't it? Yeah, no, I don't like that. So we'll just stick with these. And these are vintage as well. And I don't know how old they are, but they are vintage and they're so cute. And I got them at a yard sale. I like yard sales almost as much as thrifting because you never know what people are getting rid of, you know, that were their parents, that or their moms or whatever, and they don't sew anymore, or they aren't, you know, there anymore, and people are just trying to help them get rid of stuff and downsize their home a little bit. There, I kind of like that. And they're slightly thinner, so that will be less bulk as well. All right, now I don't know if we need a butterfly on this or some other. I'm looking around. What have I got? I don't know what I've got. Because, you know, sometimes when you have a lot, then you just get overwhelmed with which one do I choose. I don't know. Do we want her down at the bottom, or do we want her kind of more in the middle? And then if so, do we need a little something down here? Maybe to help keep that from getting too messed up. We could add some more flower trims, you know, just maybe even, I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud. Maybe that's too much flowers. I don't know, y'all. I don't know what's the right thing. Sometimes I just get bogged down and overthink, and I'm just going to get this on there. If I come to it later and I'm like, you know, that still needs something, we can add a butterfly or something, a little heart or bow. Ooh, a bow would be fun. We might need a bow. Okay, so I'm just going to put her right there. Yeah, and then we might just put a little bow maybe over here, coming down that way or something. I'll find it, and I won't keep you on camera for too long. Okay, now, do we want this going this? Yeah, I think we'll have it going the same way because it just feels better to my eyes. I don't know. Anyhow, y'all tell me what you're up to. I think I have fixed my page where you can share pictures with me on my community site. You know, on the YouTube, on my YouTube channel, you can go to community, and I think I have fixed it where you can share pictures with me. So if you're making stuff but you don't have a YouTube channel, I think you can still share your pictures of what you've made with me, that you can share them with me, and I can see what you're doing. So check that out if you want to, and we'll just see what we can do. All right, now let's make sure that this is going. Okay, now it's just sticking to me because I got little glue threads. I think crafting with me sometimes would probably fill you with anxiety going, good grief, that woman. I know it. Just, I think I also have adult ADD. I don't know, but I'm scattered. My thought processes. I've listened to myself talk on these things when I'm editing, and I'm like, did I finish an actual thought on there even one time? Probably not. Probably not. But that's how I talk. Like if you were around me, that is how I talk. And it would probably just give you anxiety. Like, I like that. She's carrying a pie. I make pie. I'm excited for the holidays because I make good pie. I make my own pie crust. It's very flaky and yummy. And I love to make an apple pie. Let me give you a little tip on apple pie. Always use Honeycrisp. I'm telling you, I can't make a bad apple pie as long as I'm using Honeycrisp. And you don't have to use as much sugar in them because they are so sweet. Now, this year, and I've made some before, but I haven't like for my family. But this year, I am going to make another diabetic-friendly apple pie using dates as part of the sweetener and a little maple syrup. And that's going to be a little diabetic-friendly apple pie. All right. Should I get the bow out while you're here, or are you like, too much? Let me try. Let's see how fast I can do this. Now, I've got some cute, cute little gingham bows, and we've got some pink gingham on here and yellow. But my gingham bows, oh, there's one that's a little green one. But I don't really like that. It doesn't have any tails. And I feel like this one needs some tails. But I don't feel like yellow is right. The blue is more like a baby blue. I don't really feel like it goes. I mean, it goes in the book, but I may have to make my own. And I will not keep you for that. I have a fun polka dotted one, but it's red. Wait, here's a pink one. But it's, I don't know. It's not the right pink either. No, we're not doing that. Okay, I will find something that goes, and when I show you my book, you will see what I did. But anyway, that's a fun tag-tastic. Let me show you how it looks over the page, minus the bow. And I may not do a bow, I may do a butterfly. There goes my phone again. Okay, also have made another fun pocket. Still working on getting all these things done for this. Now I'm knocking stuff down on myself. I don't know what. Well, I'll find it later. Okay, so let's find a page in here. Okay, let's just see what that'll look like and how it will stick. This is a regular page, which would be a writing page. Can you see? Am I off the screen? This would be a writing page. I'm sure it will stick well to that. See, that looks fine, and it does stick. I heard it snap in place. Let's see how it does on a thicker page like that. Yep, there, did you hear it snap? Snapped in place, and there you go. And you've got a decoration. It's removable and you can journal on it. And as you remove it, you've got the fun picture there. I'm trying to make more pockets like that where I'm not covering up these cute little girls. I can't handle it. I don't want them covered up. So there we go. For Tagtastic Tuesday, y'all, we've got an over-the-page Cara Renee. Cara Renee is the one I saw this. Over the page and magnetized. Cara Renee. I'll link her below because I cannot think of her channel name. I just go completely, I'm off. I'm just off, y'all, on a daily basis. So, okay, there. Make you some over-the-page fun things, especially if you want to keep the page intact and not mess it up. Okay, hugs. Bye.